Tim Burton, ¿a quién te gustaría traer de la muerte a la vida?
Who would you like to bring back from death?
This is a movie, so nobody. I find the reality of that idea, I find it's a bit too creepy, even for me.
¿Te gustaría que te revivieran?
Would you like to be revived? Would you like to be brought back?
I don't know. You know, I remember when we went to Cal Arts, there was talk that Walt Disney's head was frozen down in the basement of Cal Arts, so we'd always go looking for it, but we never found it. So maybe it'd be a head on a table.
¿Cuál es tu idea de la muerte?
What is your idea about that?
Well, I grew up with a quite, sort of suburban feeling of it. It was a very taboo subject, but I was lucky to live, in Los Angeles, where, I got a lot of Day of the Dead imagery, and I always gravitated towards that philosophy because I just liked the color and the humor and the emotion all tied into the Mexican, looking at those themes.
Platícame acerca de Bambi. Hay una parte en tu película donde se muestra una marquesina y se ve que se están proyectando Bambi en ese teatro.
Would you speak about the Bambi appearance in your film, in the billboard?
I think it was just a mild reminder to people, and even to Disney, where, because they were thinking, well, is this movie, is it too weird for kids? And I had to remind them that, Disney has been dealing with those themes in almost every movie. Bambi, Lion King, they wouldn't be Walt Disney movies if they weren't exploring certain, themes. And so for me, I felt very comfortable that this was, within the framework of some of those movies like Bambi or Lion King.
Acerca de qué es Frankenweenie, ¿es una película sobre la muerte o sobre los límites que hay, digamos, en una actividad humana como la ciencia?
What would you say is the true topic of the film? Is it about the death or the limits about science and love?
Well, I think it's more too about love and passion, and I mean that's the whole science thing is also about kind of art and kind of exploring and being open and loving what you do and being passionate about it, and so, and loyalty. So the themes are quite simple in it that way, and also the whole science thing is meant to just sort of promote not just science but art and thinking outside of the normal way of thinking. Trying to create things or explore things. Keeping your mind open to things. Those are all important themes in it as well.
¿Cómo fue regresar a trabajar con Winona Ryder?
How was it to go back working with Winona Ryder?
Well, she still sounds like she's 10 years old. Her voice hasn't changed, so that it was easy for her to do that role. No, it was great. It was important to me on a project like this to go back and work with people like her that I worked with a long time ago but hadn't seen. It just made it much more personal, and it was very special for me.
Ahora que has estado de visita en México, ¿qué te inspiraría a crear una historia o una película?
Now that you've been visiting Mexico, what would inspire you to create a film or a story?
Well, that's why it's just nice to come here because the atmosphere is so interesting. I mean, that's the thing. You get inspired when you least expect it. That's why I love traveling. That's why I wanted to come here. Going to that island of dolls was, there's lots of things here that I find quite visually striking.
¿Qué tan cerca trabajas con tus colaboradores habituales, por ejemplo, con Danny Ellfman, que siempre está contigo y obviamente está en Frankenweenie?
How close do you work with your close collaborators, such as Danny Ellfman, that of course is in many of your films and in this one too?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he started pretty much when I started, so we feel very much in sync, and we kind of like the same kind of thing. So we've always had a connection, and he's always, and I knew he would get the sort of Frankenstein element of this, and I knew he'd get the sort of simple emotion of it as well. So, I mean, for me, he was a natural for it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.